Guys, it's finally here. The final Sunday with NFL football until September. Where'd the time go? Seems like we were just getting ready for the season. Feels like we just talked about the draft. Where did it all go? But
Too
guess
fast.
what? One more Friday Night Gridiron Pix. Let's knock it out of the park. Super Bowl 60 is in the house. So do us a favor, kick back, relax, because the final episode of the Friday Night Gridiron Pix starts right now. And welcome everybody back into the Friday Night Gridiron Picks only here on 609 Sports Talk Radio. Coming to you guys live for what is about to be a freaking freezing Hamilton, New Jersey for the next 48 hours. But of course, you guys know this is the show that gives you all the predictions, picks, matchups, and information you need around the world of the NFL during the season. But unfortunately, we only got one game left.
The big one.
Oh, yes. It is Super Bowl 60. Seahawks, Patriots. The rematch from the infamous goal line interception.
We've been waiting years for this one.
It is not Brady. It is not Marshawn. It is not Gronk. It is not Russell Wilson. It is not Bill. It is not Legion of Boom. It is Drake May, Sam Darnold, Mike McDonald, Mike Vrabel, the coach of the year, all those good things coming at you this Sunday. Tyler, I want to start the show off with a very interesting question. It just popped in my head about an hour before the show. I want to ask the question. Does a Super Bowl victory on Sunday? Now, for some people, this could be a stupid question. But for some, it could be an interesting question. Does a Super Bowl win on Sunday erase the bust tag from Sam Darnold's career?
That is a very interesting thought. But I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, Sam Darnold, one of the most tumultuous careers after being a first round pick to the New York Jets. That spelled disaster itself. Felt like he went all around the league, did a little world tour before finally ending up in Minnesota last year, having best year of his career, and then ultimately it didn't end well, hit the free agent market, and now he finds himself as Seattle's starting quarterback, and he's about to start his first ever Super Bowl. What he's done in the last 2 years, proving that last year wasn't just a fluke, that with the right coaching, the right guidance, the right personnel around him, he is a very good NFL quarterback. Not average. Would I go as far as saying elite? I wouldn't go that far. But very good. Let's just say Sam Darnold is right there looking into that top 10 list for quarterbacks coming into next season. But before I get ahead of myself, win on Sunday for Darnold or not, I think he's already erased that tag of being a draft bust with what he's accomplished in his last 2 years. And I'm gonna do one better. This isn't just the Geno Smith going to Seattle and having success for a couple of years, which this is success by Geno Smith standards, not the average NFL player standards. What Sam Darnold's doing is a lot better.
And I don't disagree. First of all, yeah, I think Sam Darnold's already been better in Seattle this year than Geno Smith ever was. And Geno wasn't bad, but I think if the way you look at this is you have to look at like, okay, you know what? Last year, whatever happened, okay, you know what? Maybe was it Kevin O'Connell? Was it just because he went to Kevin O'Connell, who
Mm,
I mean, Kevin O'Connell is one of the best offensive minds in the game. I think we all know that by now. But to do what Darnold's now done in two different systems with O'Connell and with Clint Kubiak,
mm-hmm.
I don't see how he's. I think the bust label, in my opinion, I got to agree. I think it's already kind of shed. But I mean, and not only like you brought up like to make it to his first Super Bowl. Not only that, he's the first quarterback in the 2018 draft class to be to a Super Bowl. He beat Lamar, he beat Josh Allen, he beat everybody to it.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought the guy that was drafted by the New York Jets to be their franchise quarterback, that he was going to be the first one to make it in? No one could have predicted it.
Anthony's random question: who's the old quarterback from Georgia that was drafted? That was a bust. Is that going to be the same with? Is he thinking of Stetson Bennett?
Stetson Bennett was drafted so late. That's not a bust. He was taken in like the 6th round, wasn't he?
Hey! Not all of us could be a 35-year-old 6th-round pick. Okay,
You're right. You're right. Boy, oh my gosh.
but no, I think Darnold already has. I'm in agreement with you. I think Darnold already personally has shed that label of being a bust. I think the Super Bowl just 100% solidifies it.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does help. Now you know who the next person on the bust watch is going to be, right? Josh Rosen.
I was gonna. Why? Why do you make that? He's not even in the league anymore.
Hey, not in the league doesn't mean he can't come back into the league.
Listen. It's too late for Josh Rosen jokes. Okay, Cardinal fans are not happy still. Okay, let's not do this right now.
You're right. You're right.
But I mean, first quarterback over Baker, Lamar, Josh Allen to get to a Super Bowl. That's pretty dang impressive, man. And like we said, like a lot of this doesn't start with Kevin O'Connell, in my opinion. I already gave you my thoughts on that. The Jets, all right, that was a train wreck. The Jets are still a train wreck. Carolina came out, showed a couple flashes, just a couple. But what did I say? Where did I tell you the turning point was?
It was when he spent that time in San Fran.
Yes, when he sat on the bench in San Francisco for a year and learned under Shanahan and sat there and watched how that went. Then he went to Minnesota. Minnesota clearly had no issue taking a 1-year flyer on him, and Kevin O'Connell turned him into a freaking Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
Then, and I can make the case that he was better this year than his year in Minnesota, because remember, went up against the freaking Lions, lost out in the North. Then he went up against the Rams in the playoffs. He was running for his life the whole night.
Yeah, I mean, he was sacked 21 more times last year in Minnesota. It just makes things a little bit harder when your O line can't keep the pocket clean for you. But I mean, this year, career high in completion percentage, up 1% from last year, higher yard per throw average. Didn't have as many touchdowns, a couple more interceptions, but it's the type of strong arm quarterback he is.
Anthony, are you asking us in 3 years from now? Because 3 years from now, T
Let's
Law is still going to have Liam Cohen, so he ain't going nowhere.
yeah.
He'll be fine.
And then Dak. I mean, Dak could be retired by then. Who knows?
Dak ain't going nowhere with that contract. So
Exactly. He'll go
and
straight from being the QB to coaching assistant.
and honestly, Justin Herbert's got Mike
Um,
McDaniel now, so I'm not going to freaking.
Hey man, the Chargers in the time with Justin Herbert have tried a lot of different things that haven't worked.
And it failed a lot of
Yeah,
different things.
hopefully they finally figure it out, bringing McDaniel in. But I'm not saying it's not impossible in 3 years that we could be discussing Justin Herbert being a free agent going to a new team.
Yeah, but I don't think as of right now any of them qualify for needing a fresh start. I can tell you who does qualify for that, and he plays in Cincinnati.
Nah.
Hmm?
He'll be all right. He'll put up the MVP numbers if he plays the full season. Notice I didn't commit to them making it far in the playoffs, but if he plays a whole season, he could be MVP finalist.
Who?
Joe Burrow. Who else?
Joe Burrow will never eclipse one more accolade in Cincinnati.
Oh.
He
Not even comeback player of the year?
Because he'll never qualify because 5 weeks into the season, he's already been hit so much that he can't stay upright. He needs to go to a better, well-run organization. And Cincinnati is anything but that. They are they put the dysfunction in dysfunctional.
Yeah.
But now back into Super Bowl 60. There's a lot of stuff to go through this week. We got some injuries to keep an eye on. Of course, Sam Darnold still has that oblique. I know it hasn't really been bothersome over the past few weeks, but you still got to keep an eye on it. Something like that doesn't heal quickly. You got to keep an eye on Drake May with that shoulder injury. Now he's got no injury designation. That doesn't mean the injury doesn't exist. And big one on the Seattle defensive side. Nicky Manwari suffered an ankle sprain in practice on Wednesday, and he is expected to play, but will that hamper him a little bit?
Yeah. Those are good points.
Now, I'm not trying to act like I'm a doctor, but I've been a basketball player, and playing on sprained ankles is not a fun feeling.
Well, you also didn't have access to that NFL prescription strength. Oh my gosh, I can't even speak. The good stuff. Let's just call it that.
Well, yeah, that is true.
You didn't have them NFL painkillers.
Yeah, I'm not.
That could get you through 60 minutes there, but
yeah, Patrick Mahomes got at in Super Bowl during the Super Bowl that they beat the Eagles. We know that.
You might have been out there dunking on people.
He didn't know what they had to wait to present him with any trophies. He didn't know where he was for the first 10 minutes. All right, so some other injuries to keep an eye on for New England. Harold Landry still got that knee injury that's been lingering. He is questionable. He sat out practice the other day, so that's something to keep an eye on. And the other one is linebacker Robert Spillane, who did return to practice. He is also questionable. Spillane, of course, we all know, first year in New England, 97 tackles, 2 interceptions, a forced fumble. But that ankle's been bothering him lately. Landry is another big one of their free agent acquisitions. He had 9.5 sacks during the regular season. So the 2 injuries that are going to be worth keeping an eye on because
Yeah, definitely. I mean, those are two pretty big defensive players to be down. Like, I get it. You still got Milton Williams, Christian Gonzalez, but, you know, losing your linebacker, that's probably your team's leading tackler. Definitely doesn't help.
No, not at all. Now, I want to look into some matchups here. Let's look into some matchups here. If you could think of a matchup right now that is like a really big win, what is a big key matchup in this game to start looking into? And we're going to go through multiples, but let's start off with one that really
We know the
jumps
biggest
out.
one. We know the biggest one. It's the guy that just won Offensive Player of the Year.
You're welcome, by the way.
Yeah, you called it. I thought I was on to something picking CMC, but apparently the only award he was walking away with was Comeback Player of the Year. Round of applause. Congratulations. He'll be eligible for that award again in 2 years because next year he'll probably miss majority of the season and then he'll be returning from injury.
But next year, every other 49er will be healthy, is what you're saying.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, Christian Gonzalez versus Jackson Smith-Njigba. That's going to be the biggest matchup, and honestly, the biggest question mark. I don't know. Do you think they're going to commit to having Christian Gonzalez shadow him all around the field? Or do you think they're going to rely on the defense that they've played all year long to try and slow them down?
Well, I personally think this is the reason why Carlton Davis was brought here, so Christian Gonzalez doesn't have to travel. But I mean, because let's be real, it's going to be Shaheed on whatever side JSN isn't on, Shaheed's on the other, and I honestly think both Davis and Gonzalez can both be. They can get vertical. I mean, Davis has proven he can do it from time to time, but now Shaheed's a whole other animal. He's fast as can be, but
yeah.
That it's a good question. Like what happens if JSN moves into they don't put him in the slot a lot, but what if he moves inside? You're gonna move Gonzalez inside for that play? Who's going outside?
Yeah. A lot of different variables. But
see, I can make the case that this is a very bad matchup for Seattle in terms of Cooper Kupp because I think Cooper Kupp could take advantage of a lot of open space in the middle of the field.
Think about it. He's probably one of the few guys with actual Super Bowl experience on that team. So, he knows how to play in the big moment. I wouldn't be surprised if they used him as their secret weapon during that game, knowing that the attention's really going to be on Smith-Njigba and Shaheed, and to run Cooper Kupp out of the slot, attack their linebackers.
And that's going to be a big test for Marcus Jones. Now, Marcus Jones had a really good year for New England. I mean, 65 tackles, 3 interceptions. He's had a solid postseason. He's had a forced fumble, 1 interception, a sack, 14 tackles. But that could be, if you're picking one of the 3, he's probably the lesser of the 3. I mean, Carlton Davis has been really good. We know how good Christian Gonzalez is. He's probably one of the 10 best corners in the league.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, where does JSN? Do they travel Christian Gonzalez? Do they travel Gonzalez? Do they trust Carlton Davis on one side and Gonzalez on the other? I don't know. It's going to be a very interesting matchup to see if they move them. And you brought up Cooper Kupp, another person you have to look out for. You got to look out for Hunter Henry. This could be a game for him to really break out because. Yeah. The one thing that New England screwed with is, Diggs moves around. He can go outside. He moves in the slot a lot. The problem with that is, even with the plethora of wide receivers, Kyle Williams could be a deep threat. Douglas and Boutte can move wherever they want. I'm not calling him Booty anymore. It's Boutte until I'd say otherwise.
It's Booty. It's not Boutte.
Well, it's going to be Boutte on this show. But, Diggs can operate in the slot. He can operate outside. The problem is that Seattle secondary is so damn versatile. Nicky Manwari is a safety. I've seen the guy. He's playing linebacker. He's playing nickel. He's playing everywhere. Devon Witherspoon, there's nowhere you can't put him on the football field. You got Julian Love, Kobe Bryant back there at safety, just in case anyone gets confused. No, not the NBA player, but they've got don't forget, you got Josh Jobe and Reek Woolen because they love Mike McDonald in that system. Love those 6 defensive back sets.
Mm-hmm.
But New England can also kind of challenge you because they have so many pass catchers. You have Hunter Henry, you have Stephon Diggs, you have Booty, you have all these Kyle Williams. You could put multiple guys out there and challenge all of them because there's not a team that really has 4 or 5 pass catching options that you're a threat with.
Yep.
This could be a very interesting matchup between New England's pass catchers and Seattle's defensive backs, especially since Seattle loves to run those 6 defensive back looks.
Yeah. I think the one thing that worries me is that I think that the Patriots should stick to what they've done well all year. I don't think they should have Christian Gonzalez shadow him around the field. I think they should stick to what they've been doing. Try not to overthink anything. You know, if you go into halftime and you're getting cooked by him, all right, make a game time adjustment. But with that being said, I'm trying to find a team the Patriots played that had a wide receiver the caliber of Jackson Smith and Jigba. And I'll tell you what, I'm not finding it. Because when they played Cincinnati, they didn't have Brown. Or no, Jamar Chase.
What Brown? Who are you? They had Chase Brown on the show.
No, yeah, I saw Chase Brown. No, they didn't have Jamar Chase.
Or T. Higgins, for that matter.
They did have T. Higgins.
Okay, then there you go.
Yeah, Sam, tell me that again.
I'm just saying.
Like I said, they have not played a team with a wide receiving threat like Seattle once this year.
Anthony, I don't think you've watched enough of Devin Witherspoon. Well, Anthony, the thing is, the question's going to be how much is Witherspoon really going to match up with Diggs? It's all going to depend because Witherspoon, Jobe and Woolen are not versatile. They're outside corners. They don't move inside a lot. It's Imanwari and Witherspoon that they move those guys all over the field. They even blitz them a lot, and they love they don't blitz a lot with their DBs, but when they do, they're damn effective at it. They love attacking teams with a blitz with their DBs. But no, I agree with you. Has New England gone up against somebody with the likes of JSN? No, not really.
Not even close.
I mean, even the Texans game in the playoffs, Nico Collins didn't play.
Exactly.
Now, here's another matchup that I'm interested in. Are you concerned at all? Not about the shoulder injury, but I think Anthony's the one that's brought it up a lot over the past couple of weeks. Are we concerned about Drake May heading into this game? Because Drake May has not had a good postseason.
No, he hasn't. He's definitely the one everyone's looking at. I mean, we're 3 games in for the Patriots in this postseason. Drake May, 55% completion percentage, way down from leading the league in completion percentage this year. 533 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I'd say by looking at that and comparing it to his regular season numbers, yes, that shoulder is bothering him. It's affecting his game. And he's not as accurate throwing the football or comfortable right now. So I'm hoping that having this extra week off, he was able to get it rested, and hopefully he's able to go out there and play the best game of the postseason. because they're going to need every bit of it to win this one.
I'll even go one better. You brought up the completion percentage. The passer rating is now granted. Let's be fair. Drake May has played three pretty damn good defensive minds. They went against Jesse Minter and the Chargers.
Yeah.
Then they went against D'Amico Ryans and the freaking Texans, and then they went against the freaking Broncos. But I mean, the passer rating during the regular season, 113.5. It's down to what? It's down to 84 in the postseason. Passing yards, almost 260 in the regular season, under 23 yards, under 200 in the postseason. And here's the other big key: fumbles. He only had 8 fumbles throughout the regular season. He's already fumbled the ball 6 times in the postseason. Now, Anthony, are we talking about the regular season or the postseason? The postseason, he hasn't played well at all.
I'm confused by the question too.
I mean, look, I'm not going to start the regular season conversation about quarterbacks because I can make the case that a lot of quarterbacks are good in the regular season and not in the postseason. Go ask me who Justin Herbert plays every year.
Yeah, exactly. Because then that'll tie right back into our discussion about Eli Manning on the show.
Oh, God, please no.
Regular season?
Again, so not doing it.
Anthony, are you trying to say that they didn't play anyone good?
I mean, the guy literally led the league in completion percentage, had a 113.5 passer rating. It was 1 vote short of winning MVP.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say that he didn't play well, play great. I mean, he almost threw for 4,400 yards, 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. I mean, by any quarterback metric, that's a great season. But I mean, if you're trying to say that who did he actually play that was good, I mean, they played good teams.
I don't care who they play. You play who's on your schedule. They don't control who they play.
Yeah. It's not their fault that they have to play the Jets. Hey, your division. What you gonna do about it?
And another big key, if you look at this now, don't get me wrong. Seattle's edges, hey, you know what? You and I got eats from crow here. We laughed at DeMarcus Lawrence getting that big contract from Seattle. Have you seen what he's done for them this year?
Yeah. And Jerry's probably wondering where that effort was after the first big contract.
Now all of a sudden, the brother's healthy. Oh, that foot injury's been healed, hasn't it, DeMarcus? Oh, that's been healed for months now. Oh, okay. He said it himself, though, when he signed there. He said, I didn't feel like I was going to win a Super Bowl in Dallas. Well,
yeah, I'd say every other Dallas player for the last 30 years probably thought the same thing. So,
most likely. But a big key to this game, the biggest key in the trenches, I like to say, because you know how I go with football. You win in the trenches. I don't care what side, you win up front. The big matchups are going to be Mike Owano, Jarrett Wilson, and Garrett Bradbury. How do they fare against Byron Murphy? Pretty sure it's Byron Murphy. And Leonard Williams. Because the Seahawks destroy teams up the middle in every facet of their defense. And it was Byron Murphy, I was right. I mean, Byron Murphy this year had 7 sacks, 62 tackles in his second year in the league.
Yeah.
Leonard Williams, another one who had 7 sacks. I don't even think people talk about enough how good he's been for Seattle.
No. They don't. I mean, it's a great team effort on defense. 3 guys with 7 sacks, Lawrence with 6, and then just
And
multiple
and
guys
Wosu
with
had
2,
7.
2.5. Drake Thomas had 3.5.
And Wosu has 7.
Yeah,
He's their other edge.
yeah. They got 3 guys with 7 sacks and one with 6. I mean, playing that kind of team football, it's not just one guy beating you; it's everybody.
You got Ernest Jones at middle linebacker, had a tremendous year, 126 tackles, 5 interceptions. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's going to be a big, big matchup. Is how do Bradbury, Wilson, and I think it's Awanu, Michael Wenu for New England. I always forget his last name mixed up. I got Nwosu and Wanu. There's too many freaking. There's a lot of weird names out there. Okay, but for that Patriots interior O line, they have to be able to protect Drake May because honestly, I'm not worried about Will Campbell. I'm not worried about Will Campbell one bit. You go look at the AFC Championship game. Go ask me how Nick Benito did. Nick Benito didn't record a statistic in that game.
Yeah, he got shut down.
Campbell's been fine. Now Morgan Moses has also been good. Morgan Moses also is pretty long in the tooth. He's been okay, but those 3 guys on the interior of that O line, they have to keep Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy away from Drake May because if not, they're going to be in for a very long night.
Mm. Yep, I agree.
And now, all right, Tyler, what is your one key? Let's go to keys of the game here for offensively and defensively on each side. So let's go to New England first offensively. What's the key for the Patriots offensively to win this game?
The key for the Patriots, it's honestly going to be, I think, getting the ground game going. We still don't know if Drake May is 100%. I don't care that he was removed off of the injury report. We don't know if at any point in that game that shoulder is going to bother him, and we've seen it affect him through the whole postseason so far. Establishing that run game with Henderson and Stevenson, that's going to be huge for them to be able to maintain control, have some longer drives put together, keep Seattle's offense off the field. You're going to have to outscore Seattle. Way to do that, you got to keep their offense on the sideline.
Anthony's offensive key to the game is Hunter Henry. No, I agree with that. I like that.
Yeah. I can easily see Hunter Henry being the leading receiver in the game on Sunday.
Young quarterback's best friend's always the tight end.
Mm-hmm. And I think that Seattle will try their best to game plan the ball away from Diggs.
Yeah. And, you said back to the ground game with New England, and I agree with that. What concerns me with that is I really want to see them establish it early with Trevion Henderson because Ramondre's played well. I still have that concern with the fumbles. I still have concern with that over the fumbles. So, and same thing with Drake May. This is a game that you make one of those mistakes against this Seattle team, they will take full on advantage of it.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing for them is that, Sam Darnold's no stranger to turning the ball over. He has his moments, but their ability to get the defense ability to get him the ball back again is why they're in the spot they are.
That is true. All right, let's slide over to the other side of the offense. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the theme going. Seattle. Big key for them on offense.
Big key for Seattle. Man, I can't just say running back again, can I?
Well, I mean, it's a big part. I mean, it is. If Kenneth Walker's going good, then they're in good shape.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, any football game, establishing the run, it's going to be huge. But For Seattle, I think the biggest key is getting an efficient game out of Sam Darnold. Limit the mistakes that he can make in that game. And again, that does tie into Kenneth Walker. Can he run the ball well consistently through the game? That takes pressure off of Sam Darnold. Let Sam Darnold make the plays he needs to, not turn the ball over. And we know he can sling it.
My big key for Seattle on the offensive side of the ball, which pass catcher can you get involved? That's not named Jackson Smith and Jigba. Because I know it's a completely different situation than last year, but if you go back to last year, I don't care what you say. The only thing that Steve Spagnuolo cared about last year was, I will not let 26 beat me. Steve Spagnuolo's goal last year's Super Bowl was to not let Saquon Barkley beat him.
Yep.
The problem was he forgot about these guys named A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Jahan Dotson, Jalen Hurts. Kind of forgot about the rest of them. But you know Mike Vrabel and that Patriots defensive staff, their main goal is, they signed Carlton Davis for a reason to pair him with Gonzalez. Their goal is to not let JSM beat them. So who's going to be the pass catcher? Is it going to be Jake Bobo? Is it going to be Rashid Shaheed? It's going to be Cooper Kupp. Who's it going to be? That's my key for the Seahawks offense. Now let's move to the other side of the football. Let's go to the defensive side. Where do you want to start here? You want to start New England again?
Let's start with Seattle.
Okay. Well, what's a key for their defense?
Key for their defense, they got to get some pressure on the quarterback. They've done it all year long.
Interior defensive line.
They got to keep Drake May flustered. And again, that'll tie into him making some mistakes himself. Throw him off his game. If you give him time, he's just going to dot you down the field.
Yeah. Because, Drake May can throw the football down the field, but he doesn't necessarily just kill you with the deep shot. He picks you apart. He likes to go all over the field.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony, you own Ernest Jones from Seattle. That's your key? Okay. I'm going to stick to what I said a few minutes ago. I'm going to stick with those guys up front. Byron Murphy, Leonard Williams. Those two are the key cog in the machine for Seattle's defense. If they're creating interior pressure, then good freaking luck. Because you're not getting anything, then you're screwed. You're absolutely screwed if you're Drake May. Because if Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy are having good games, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
And now let's slide over to New England. Another team. Another defensive. I'm sticking with the defensive line again. Their defense, they're not as good as Seattle's. They're solid, but they're nowhere near as good as Seattle's. They got good players. But, Milton Williams is going to need a big game out of him. Christian Barmore is going to have to play well. And if Harold Landry plays, him and Kalavian Chasian have to get after Sam Darnold. And Landry's already going to have a long day if he plays because he's got to go against Charles Cross.
Yeah. Yeah, Charles Cross. Another great up-and-coming tackle.
It's a large man.
Yeah, 6'7". He's not small.
That is a large man.
I like you going defensive line. The lines are always so important. I'm actually going to go one specific player. I'm going Carlton Davis. I think their defensive success hinges on him because I feel like he will be the one that is picked on the most throughout the game. I think we do see, like I said before, I don't think I see New England starting out the game with putting Gonzalez on Smith and Jigba. I think Seattle will try and purposely line up Smith and Jigba wherever Carlton Davis is most of the game to try and pick on him, see what they can get. Depending on how that goes, he either holds up or he starts giving up a bunch of yards. If that happens, then they're gonna have to start looking at, all right, Gonzalez, go find him each play, every down. We need you to stop him.
I don't hate it. Yeah. I think New England secondary is another one, but what'll help them is if those guys up front do their job.
Yep.
And like you said, if Sam Darnold can if he plays like he did against the Rams, which it's really hard to replicate 2 games like that in a row.
It is. What I will
But if
say
he's
for Darnold so far in the 2 postseason games, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and no lost fumbles. He fumbled once, but it was recovered. So no turnovers in this postseason. If he can keep that streak alive, they win. I don't want to say comfortably. Is 10 points a comfortable enough win?
for a Super Bowl,
For a
yes.
Super Bowl? Yeah. If he plays a turnover-free game, I think they win.
I think that's the key just for both quarterbacks to play a turnover-free game.
Yeah, it is. But you got to look at it that Darnold is more turnover prone. May's not. But then come postseason, the roles kind of reversed each other. So which version are we going to get from each quarterback?
It's a good question. It's a very good question. Milton Williams getting ring number 2. Hey, don't forget, if New England wins, he ain't the only one that's getting the second ring.
Wait,
You're forgetting somebody.
Who else? Who am I forgetting? Hold on. I gotta go look at the whole damn roster. Who am I forgetting?
Obviously, if Fighting Philly can get it, why don't you keep going what you were saying? We'll let Fighting Philly get it.
What was I saying? You ruined my train of thought.
I don't know. What were you saying?
No idea. Man, I don't see anybody. Oh my gosh.
He got it.
Oh my gosh. Wow. You're really going back some years, aren't you?
Hey, Mac was on that Super Bowl team too, and it's on Super Bowl 52.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he was. Caught all of 16 catches that season.
Hey.
Man, really hit me with Mac Hollins. Wow.
What's wrong with that?
Unbelievable.
What is wrong with that?
He's been a nice, receiver for them. Kind of playing in that reserved role. He is, because a big target aside from Hunter Henry. He missed quite a few games, but when he does play, he has those few impactful plays for you that could change the course of the game.
That is true. That is very true. And we're out.
All right.
All right. That's where we're going to stop that now, because that is outlandish. Anthony said, didn't the middle linebacker for Seattle get a ring with the Rams? He did. Ernest Jones was on that Rams team that won the Super Bowl. So basically, if you want to win a ring in the NFC West, you just got to go grab Ernest Jones.
Or a former Rams player.
All right, Tyler. So we're getting around that 45-minute mark. anyone commenting in, score prediction, Super Bowl MVP. Let's hear it. Tyler, I want to ask before we get to that, we'll let the chat get some of theirs in. Who's going to be the guy? Not the Super Bowl MVP. Who's going to be that Corey Clement random person that you're just like,
random person?
Who's going to be that guy?
Jake Bobo.
You stole mine.
That was the obvious choice. Jake Bobo. Let's see. How about Velus Jones Jr. The RB2. I guess he's RB2. He's RB something for the Seahawks.
Seahawks 27-17, Darnold MVP. Ooh. Okay. Anthony said the MVP is going to be either Darnold or, if not, Kenneth Walker.
So, we both know over the last few weeks, I have been calling this Seattle Patriots Super Bowl rematch. I don't think I ever once actually gave my pick for who's going to win it.
I don't think any of us really have.
I would love to see Vrabel cap off what he's done this year with the Patriots with the Super Bowl victory. But I think the Patriots may be outmatched. And if Drake May can't give 100%, I think we're going to see Sam Darnold with a 4-touchdown, 1 interception, 350-yard game in the air. And I think Seattle pulls off the win 28-20. Sam Darnold MVP.
Whoa. Oh, where do I go first here? I'm going to fight Phillies. He's got Seahawks 21-14. Witherspoon MVP with a pick 6 and a sack.
Wow. Pick 6 and a sack.
That's very detailed. And Anthony said Seahawks 31-17. I don't see. All right, hold on. I know we're right in the middle of getting our picks and MVPs in. Wait, what was your score again? 28-20?
28-20. Mm-hmm.
And you went Darnold.
Yep.
I don't see how this is a 2-possession game. I don't.
Nope. I don't either.
I think both of these teams are too well coached. I mean, God, the coach of the year is on the AFC side. And McDonald was what, 3rd place for coach of the year? Like,
my only concern is Drake May's health. That's it. If it wasn't that, and it wasn't the fact that his numbers took such a drastic hit, I wouldn't be saying this right now. I'd probably say it's a 3-point game. Somebody wins by a walk-off field goal.
Oh, God, not the walk-off field goal.
The walk-off field goal, yes.
I'm not a big fan of the walk-off field goals, okay?
You don't want to see the Jason Myers walk-off field goal?
No, I don't, actually. Anthony, it could be the case. There could be a case where they don't move the ball well against Seattle's defense at all. But when it comes to the Super Bowl, we've seen crazier things happen. Did we expect what happened last year to happen? I didn't expect to win that game 40-22.
Nope, not at all. Thought it was going to be a dogfight. Instead, it was a
Here's the
dog
question.
walk.
It was a walk around. That wasn't a dog walk. That was putting a dog down, Old Yeller style. That's what that was. All right, here's a good question. If Seattle wins, have they avenged Pete Carroll? I'm assuming we're talking about. I think we all know what that is pertaining to.
No. I need some vengeance from my man, Marshawn Lynch. Screw Pete Carroll. Do it for Marshawn.
And just, just for the fun of things, in case you were living under a rock, what was that, 11 years ago when that happened?
Sounds about right.
In case anybody was living under a rock all those years ago, this is what we're pertaining to.
Yep. And no, that is not Tyler Lockett. That is, was he Ricardo Lockett? Ricardo Lockett. Yeah, you chose to throw to your wide receiver 3 on a crosser on the goal line.
Yeah, look, here's the thing. If you're going to throw the football, that's fine. You can't throw the ball to Jermaine Kearse again?
Exactly.
What? Okay. I guess I'm at to the point where it's my turn.
We're waiting.
Okay. For the final Friday Night Gridiron picks, I am going to go Super Bowl champion, the Seattle Seahawks.
Damn, I don't like this unanimousness.
I don't either, but I just think they're the better team, man. I'm going to go 23-14. Get a lot of field goals. There'll be some touchdowns, but there'll be a lot of field goals.
Well, we know Jason Myers is nailing them, so.
And I'm going to go my Super Bowl MVP. This is tough. This is really tough. I'm going to go 5 catches, 85 yards, and a touchdown. Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp. We going to get some Coop chance?
Damn right. I'm going with Cooper Kupp. Gets to stick it to the Rams and win his second ring in the 49ers stadium.
Oh.
So, yeah, I'm going 23-14 Seattle, and I'm going Cooper Kupp as my MVP.
All right. I like it.
And unfortunately, I think that puts a wrap on everything. Is there anything else we want to bring up?
There's one thing I want to bring up.
All right, shoot.
How do you think DK Metcalf's feeling right now?
Pretty stupid. That's how I think he's feeling right about now. But, like they say, the grass is not always greener on the other side. So, if you're thinking of just one out of a situation because you think it's not good for you, you could be costing yourself a trip to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But, well, guys, this is it. The final Friday Night Gridiron picks. We want to thank everybody who joined us in the chat tonight, throwing in your Super Bowl picks, MVP of the game, all that good stuff. Everyone who tuned in tonight. And I want to thank everybody who tuned into this show throughout the entire season. Turn that off. We are not. What are we celebrating? And why would you do
because
this?
Because it was a good run. from the time we had middle of the season up until this point, and I can't wait to celebrate the return at the beginning of next season.
Now he's got to figure out, are we going to bring this back the first week of college football or the first week of the NFL?
Good question. I guess we'll have to see what some opening college football week matchups look like.
Yeah, let's see how many
if we have
matches.
If we have Miami of Ohio playing I don't know, playing Clemson, there's something out there. We're not talking about that.
But guys, we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Thank you guys for making the Friday Night Gridiron Picks, which was the second show that we brought to 609 Sports Talk Radio. You guys have already made Unbiased a hit, but you guys made the Friday Night Gridiron Picks a fun show. Every Friday night with us, you guys pack the comments in the chat every week, and you guys did it one last time tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining the Friday Night Gridiron Picks throughout the season. We will be back at it later next summer. We do have plans for Friday. We'll keep you guys posted on that. But, guys, have a great weekend. If you're in the freaking Northeast, good Lord, let me tell, I'm an essential worker. Stay inside. Don't go outside. It's going to be too freaking. What's that?
I'll see you tomorrow, Sam.
No, you will serve yourself. I will turn up New Jersey into Pennsylvania like that. But guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl. We'll be back at it Monday with Unbiased. We are going to recap Super Bowl 60. NBA trade deadline was yesterday. We're going to go around all the big moves that went around this past week. What teams got better? What teams got worse? What teams didn't do anything? Sixers. But we'll get to that on Monday. Well, you guys are a joke anyway, so it's okay. So, guys.
I know you guys at least had some movement. Miami just didn't do anything.
Yeah, I traded a young player for a first-round pick. Awesome.
Hold on.
They traded Jeremy.
Is a first-round pick that bad?
I mean, yeah. After listening to Daryl Morey talk about it, yes. But we'll talk. Listen, you're
yes, we'll talk about it on Monday. I know. Yes,
guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl. We'll be back at it on Monday. Talk to you guys then. For Tyler Adams, I'm Sam Nelson. Good night, everybody.
The following has been a presentation of 609 Sports Talk Radio.
Sam, what did you do?